Hey, I just got done with this semester of college, so I'm back. I gained 10 subscribers while I was gone, which is crazy. Thank you everyone. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe, because if this channel blows up, you can brag about being here before 500 subscribers and be an OG. We only have 28 spots left, so hurry. Twitter and feminism's man hatred is evolving. The rhetoric used to be, men are bad. And people would respond with, that's not true, not all men are bad, get your story straight. Now the rhetoric is, men are bad, and no, we don't have to say not all men, because when we say watch out for ticks, they carry disease, we don't say not all ticks carry disease, but watch out for the ones that do. Which is just such a stupid argument. I don't care what you believe in or whatever, we should all recognize how irrational and harmful this analogy is. Allow me to start from the beginning. I saw the tick metaphor really take off after a survey was made in Britain where 71% of women of all ages reported that they had experienced sexual harassment in a public space. It is also a fact that most sexual predators are men. This leads feminists and related idiots to draw the conclusion that inappropriate sexual conduct is inherent to being a man. So by their logic, all men are sexual predators just by being a man due to the data correlating men with sexual crimes. Well, I got some news for you, buddies. Correlation does not prove causation. What does this mean? This means that correlations alone cannot prove that something happens as a result of something else. For example, SAT math scores have a positive correlation with ring finger length. The trend showed that students with longer ring fingers scored higher in the math portion of the SAT than students with shorter ring fingers. This obviously does not mean that because you have long ring fingers, you are gonna get a high SAT math score. In order to find causation, many experiments must be conducted, not surveys. So no, being a man does not mean that you are an sexual predator. However, I think that the tick analogy alludes to a more collective blame. I define collective blame as the idea that although only a part of a group did something bad, everyone in that group must take the blame too for simply belonging to that group. I.e., only some ticks carry disease, but they still give the other non-disease carrying ticks a bad reputation since they take collective blame. Let's destroy this tick analogy once and for all. According to Google.com, 1 to 50% of ticks carry disease. In this argument, let's assume that 1% of ticks carry disease, and that we're generalizing this number to be 100% of ticks. Therefore, we say, watch out for ticks, they carry disease. Although 99% of ticks do not carry disease. We are casting a very negative light on all ticks, even though only 1% of them carry disease. Here's the deal. Why would ticks care about us casting a bad light on them? Ticks are pests. They're not part of society. They don't get affected by the bad light humans cast on them by assuming that they are all disease-bearing bastards. There is no social weight on assuming all ticks have disease. However, as soon as we apply this rhetoric of blaming the whole for the actions of a few to people, things get dangerous because they do carry social weight. For example, what if I said black people are criminals? I mean, not all black people are criminals, but black people disproportionately commit a lot of violent crimes. There is a positive correlation between black people and crimes, just like there is a positive correlation between sexual crimes and men. Wouldn't this be a harmful and erroneous statement to make? It would be unfair of me to say that because there are plenty of black people who are not criminals. If I were to make this statement, wouldn't black people have the right to defend themselves and make me get my facts straight? Men who defend themselves against the statement men are bad get shut down by stupid lonely feminists who claim that based on quote-unquote context clues, they should know that they're not referring to all men, and that if a man that is defending himself isn't an sexual predator, then why is he getting offended if it doesn't apply to him? You heard that, black people? You should know that if I said black people are criminals, I'm not referring to all black people based on context clues, and that if a black person is not a criminal, then why should they be offended if it doesn't apply to them? Feminists love to keep one energy for men, but have a different energy for minorities. That's not how logic works, you voluntary bastards. I am not letting you generalize your way into villainizing men in order to put a wedge between men and women and make all of us as miserable and brain dead as you are. I see exactly what you're doing. You're slowly changing the wording and quote-unquote rationalizing this change so that women hate all men due to the qualities of certain men. I was passive the first time you started doing this, but now I see how you are shifting the world and I won't let you pissed-in sleeping bags. This men are insert negative quality here, and no, I don't have to say not all men. Rhetoric is infiltrating our society. I was hoping that it limited itself to the toxic wasteland of Twitter, but no, it's spreading. We can see this in the Billie Eilish interview where she says men are weak when it comes to to resisting touching a woman, which obviously does not apply to every man like her statement implies. I don't know if she misspoke or something, but she failed to say some men are weak or not all men are weak, which will heavily get defended by feminists, thus normalizing saying men are insert negative quality here without specifying it's not all of them, and further painting every man in a negative light. This buffoonery must cease at once. Again, I don't care what you believe in. We all have to agree that generalizing like this is wrong. Saying it is enough men is not a valid excuse to say men are this or that. Use your brains, please. Notice how this rhetoric only applies to men and doesn't hold up logically. The only way that we can solve problems is by acknowledging reality and coming together. That's why feminists try to twist reality and try to tear us apart, because they don't want us to solve problems and wish for all of us to be as unhappy as they are. Thank you so much if you watched this video, and bye.